And welcome back, everyone. We're continuing our segment with Governor Sununu to get your questions and get his answers for some of the issues surrounding COVID-19. Governor, again, thanks for being with us.
Absolutely.
Okay, coming in now from Linda is asking, what's being done for landlords who count on renters' rent to pay bills? Some tenants are deciding not to pay because we can't evict them. Landlords have bills too.
Absolutely. So it's a great question, something we've heard from landlords all across the state. First and foremost, we want to protect those individuals from being evicted, right? And understanding that they may be losing a job because of COVID. Hopefully it's in a short term. We are not telling people they do not have to pay. That is not the situation. We're saying you can't be evicted. Now, if those payments go into forbearance or can be paid down the line, that's exactly what those tenants should be doing. For the landlords who are clearly going to be experiencing a cash crunch, we do have a relief program coming out with some funds combining both the state funds and the federal funds. That should be released early next week. But to the landlords, know that we hear you and a relief package is coming.
All right. Corinne asks, why are New Hampshire liquor stores considered essential to remain open?
Well, liquor stores all across New England actually have remained open. So one is, again, combining what we did in New Hampshire with our regional partners. We always provide a little more flexibility, being the live free or die state. But with the liquor stores, everyone else in the area has remained open. And we are looking and going to a curbside pickup, which I think will, again, limit those one-on-one interactions. It's all about public health and safety. And as much as we can limit those interactions and those purchases that again, maybe put people with that might be COVID positive in harm's way, we'll make sure that we're providing a pathway for them.
Thomas asks along that same line, he goes to Shaw's or Hannaford, they have plexiglass around their cashiers. Why are we not putting them around our liquor store employees?
I guess we could. Again, we're trying to go to more of a curbside model for a lot of those opportunities. Grocery stores, you really cannot do just a curbside pickup, but in some of our liquor stores, that's exactly what we're going to just for that reason.
Okay, Candy asks, our neighboring state, Vermont, has stopped the big box stores from selling things like clothing and electronics. Shouldn't we follow suit before the other states start flooding our stores?
My quick answer there is no. No, again, I think a lot of the retailers, if they've been deemed essential and they can remain open, that's fine. And even if they were deemed non-essential, we're telling them they can still remain open if, again, you're buying something over the phone or you're ordering it online and you can do curbside pickup. But again, one thing I noticed around the stores this weekend was you saw folks, there's actually tape like on the floor. People are actually doing their social distancing. The stores themselves are ensuring that people are keeping their themselves 6 feet apart. I even saw some stores that are taking those displays you might see in the middle of the aisles. They're removing those again to allow people to pass safely on either side. So my hat's off to a lot of the stores who have been allowed to remain open. They're being innovative in their own ways to again allow that physical and social distancing to take place.
One last thing about the people flooding the area for our parks. And sure. Everybody's been asking this question. What specifically are you doing to try to curb that? Well,
again, the biggest point source was Hampton Beach, right? And again, knowing that you could have tens of thousands of people from out of state coming into Hampton Beach where people would sit and congregate for long periods of time in larger groups, we had to put that to an end and we stopped that. Hopefully down the road we'll be able to open them in some other flexible capacity, but we're definitely not there yet. We saw a lot of cars in our parks and on our trail systems, so there were a lot of people out there. But if you were on the trails, there was a lot of evidence of folks taking that social distancing seriously. If you went to the top of some of those mountains, Mount Major, people were really keeping their spacing, being careful as they passed each other on the trail. But again, given you have a miles of long trail system and large open air parks, people really have much more opportunity to keep their distances there. Now, if we can maintain that good social discipline, keeping that distance, not just today, but for the weeks and weeks ahead, remember, we've got a long way to go. We need folks to be disciplined in that physical and social distancing. And if they can maintain that, we can keep things open and hopefully not have to take more drastic steps for closures.
Okay, Governor, thanks for being with us again tonight. We'll have you back real soon.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks
Anytime.
for your time very much. Now to